Hi there. I'm Cutthroat. Hi there. I'm Cutthroat. This video is regarding a tier list that I made. I am the face behind the tier list. I'm assuming that if you watch that video honestly, I'm assuming that you haven't watched most of my other videos, but my face is pretty public. I have it in the thumbnail for just about every video, and, there are multiple videos, I think only really older ones, where I actually use my webcam. I don't know why I actually don't use it much now. That's fine though. So the tier list video, in comparison to anything else I've ever made, blew up. In 5 days, it has 659 views, which is better than anything else I've ever posted. That also has me mildly upset. I'll get to that. But there are 10 comments on it. Also, most comments I've ever gotten. Thank you a lot for that. Even for the ones that are a little passive aggressive, I'm still very thankful. And to start this off, I'm gonna answer a comment that is, don't know if this is a satire list, but it's terrible. I'll also probably put a picture of the list somewhere. I don't actually know if I have a picture of the list. That's fine though. But it says, I don't know if this is a satire list, but it's terrible. It's from Sala the LLL, I believe. And the only reason I want to start with this comment specifically. So the list itself isn't satire. I initially made the list because I wanted to just make a small format video because I was editing and I kept getting bored while editing. And I just wanted to make a short format easy video. And then I made that, which really easy to make, and it did surprisingly well. And so I guess I can't complain too much, although I'm really upset that out of everything I've made, this blew up, because on my part, there's no effort that went into this. I actively uploaded it as a joke. So the uploading was satire, the list itself kind of isn't. So the actual uploading of it, though, was a joke. I was watching it back, because I was gonna edit it, and I was like, it'd be really funny to me to post this completely unedited. And that joke really doesn't come across to people that don't get to see the actual promotions I make for it. Because I promoted it on my Twitter and my Discord, which I guess I'll put in the descriptions, which my Discord isn't even public, although it is set up to work as if it's public. Like, I have roles and everything for if people do start flooding on in there. But so the promotions I put out was actively, haha guys, I'm posting this, I think it's, I'll pull one up so that I can also read it, but a lot of it was like, oh, I completely didn't edit this on purpose, I thought it would be funny not to edit it, please, I'm pretty sure in every promotion I did, I actively said, do not watch this. This is literally the worst video I've ever made, I thought it'd be funny not to edit it, please don't watch this, I'm so sorry, was the Discord promotion I put out for it. So, uploading it was completely satire, which is why I'm both very glad, but also mildly upset that it kind of blew up. But still thank you for the comment anyway, Sala the Third? I guess I should have realized that to begin with, but the list itself isn't satire, admittedly. I can't even really remember what I had for the list, which may make this a bit of a problem. I should really pull up the list. Give me a second. Alright, I've got the list up now, so I can see it. I don't completely know why exactly I needed to see it. It'll help me later on. I know the one thing I did that is kind of obviously a joke is giving Perona her own tier, which there's also some stuff about that. Which for that, I just love Perona as a character. Perona's like probably easily my favorite One Piece character. Either Perona or Kuma. Another comment is just W. Thanks. I'm pretty cool, I know. I'm so flattered. One of them. Dofi over Admirals is S tier glaze. Which, alright. For this one, I'm guessing you kind of... Did I really put Doflamingo over the Admiral? Alright, Doflamingo's in the same tier as the Admirals, although, compared to all of the current Admirals, I think Doflamingo's either the equal or above. Because Doflamingo, he's a very strong character, but more than anything, he's a smart fighter. The Admirals are all fine in strength, although right now where we're seeing them, they're kind of useless, like an egghead. Like, Kizaru is being thrown around like nothing. I'm assuming that he's either going to get an awakening, or it's going to be confirmed that Logias can't be awakened. Who knows? Um, but, I mean, Doflamingo, I think, like, if he knows, like, we saw him versus, Kuzan, which, he left that fight. Which I don't think he could beat Kuzan Aokiji. Whichever name you want to go with him, Kuzan or Aokiji. I don't think Doflamingo could beat him. Purely because I just think his powers. I think maybe Doflamingo could use like aerial tactics and possibly do it, but I still feel like overall it'd be a rough fight for him. Which maybe honestly I might end up just making videos just pairing One Piece characters and being like, all right, I think this would be a pretty interesting fight, and then going like where I think kind of winning would be. But Doflamingo's a really smart fighter, even above his actual strength. Like, I don't believe that he would have, in theory, lost to Luffy if Luffy didn't have Gear 4. Because, Gear 4 was kind of a surprise, and I think Doflamingo still believed that it would have been similar in strength to base Luffy. And I think that overall surprised him in the fight. I think he probably would have gotten out of there and, like, left if he knew that he would have, if he thought he was going to lose. Doflamingo's a very smart fighter, which is kind of a lot of what we've seen. Dressrosa is really just still my favorite arc. I don't know why I'm dragging that into this. Dressrosa is my favorite arc. Egghead is probably my second favorite. I really like Doflamingo as a villain. I think he's a really good fighter. Like, I think he's a really good villain, both in being like scary and being actually powerful. But then in response to that comment, somebody said they weren't in order in the tiers, which is also true. Also, the admirals are mad overrated. An individual Gorosei slams any admiral, and it would take all of them to fight a Yonko. Which, yeah, the admirals are honestly kind of overrated, which, saying Aokiji, like, still considering him an admiral, he is kind of above in strength compared to the others, saying as how he's closer to equal to Akainu, who we don't completely have a good gauge of strength on, although we know that he is the fleet admiral and that he is very strong. I'm assuming that compared to the other admirals, he shines above. I'm assuming and kind of hoping. He has an amazing devil fruit, and I'm assuming that by the time we actually get to see him fight more, it'll turn out that he has pretty good hockey as well. Another thing says, "Who let bro cook?" I can't remember if that phrase is more of an insult or a compliment, like, "Oh, who let him cook? This is so good," or like, "Oh, let him cook," or it's just like, he shouldn't have cooked. Thank you for the comment anyway, and I really was cooking, but I still, watch anything else on my channel. If you haven't watched the tier list, don't. It's terrible. One thing, the movie where Shiki fought Luffy wasn't canon. Shiki in his prime was equal to Whitebeard. So, part of the reason why I put Shiki lower is because I'm gauging this off the strength we've been given view to. We don't know how strong he was in Rox's crew, because not everyone there is equal, because that's like, I wouldn't say prime Whitebeard, but Whitebeard was easily like the strongest that we saw there. It was prime Big Mom, but not prime Kaido, because that is when Kaido didn't even have his devil fruit. So trying to say that that would also prove that Kaido and Whitebeard were equal at that time, there's no way. So it's hard to gauge where, like, how strong Shiki would be. So Shiki, I put with the only strength we've been given, which is from that movie. That's the easiest way to gauge. And then also, if we're completely going off the movies not being canon, then Uta wouldn't be in the list, which I honestly would be kind of upset if Uta wasn't on the list. Uta, I love Uta. Uta's such a good character. But, so I'm just using the strength we've been given. I don't mean to actively just shit on Shiki. Just all we've seen of him is the uncanon, and other than that, we haven't seen anything of him. Nothing really confirming how strong he was. Like, I'm definitely assuming he most definitely could use hockey if he was on Rox's crew. But, I mean, in that movie, he clearly didn't. Sanji not being Yonko is a crime is the next comment. Oh, I haven't been saying the names of the people that comment. I'll put the comments up anyway. You'll be able to see the names, which I guess check them out for as a thanks. I don't know. I mean, I don't even know if all these people even make anything, or if there's a point in being like, oh, go check them out. I'm just trying to be nice. Sanji not being Yonko is crime, or is a crime, which I kind of agree with that. I feel like Sanji is definitely stronger than I think he is. We just haven't gotten to see enough of him at his current strength yet. Like, in Egghead in the manga currently, we haven't really gotten to see him fight. We know that he probably could beat Kizaru, but in the moment that it looked like they were gonna fight, Luffy was like, "No, it's all right. I've got this. I can take Saturn and Kizaru." And Sanji, and he was like, "Oh, just get Vegapunk out of here." And Sanji was like, "All right then." Um, and versus Queen, it didn't really seem like he struggled at all, and it kind of had the same feeling as the fight between Jinbei and Who's Who, as in like it seemed like a relatively one-sided fight. And I mean, most of that fight, Sanji was just kind of brooding, being like, "Oh, I can't be evil," and he was right, I guess, in the end. Um, so we do know that he is very strong, but we just don't have anything confirmation enough to where I felt comfortable putting him up on Yonko level. Now, oh, this one I should have gotten to earlier. This is the one where I've kind of got a little bit more to actually say, I think. It is just saying, Perona's Devil Fruit is kind of OP. She's got 100% accuracy thus far with her negative ghosts, and as far as we know, Usopp's the only one with depression bad enough to counter her. Then, as a joke, I replied to this one, the only counter we know of is depression. And then, this is one that I think is really, actually, like, so, replying to that, someone said, Haki counters, which is true. We know that Haki can counter Devil Fruits. But the only thing I'm kind of getting at, like, because I initially, like, just kind of forgot to put the only depression counter we know of is Haki and depression in that reply that I initially put in, but one of the things I've been thinking of is Haki is based off willpower. You need willpower to use Haki. With Perona's negative ghosts, that would drain willpower. So unless you completely know, like, what her power is going into fighting her, and she's your enemy, I don't think Haki is honestly a sound enough counter. Because if it's based off willpower, and her power completely drains, like, your willpower and your, like, well-being, I guess, then I don't even think Haki could be a solid counter for Perona's ability. Which, Perona herself, I don't really think is even a threat. I hate the fact that, honestly, she's probably gonna end up... She's probably, like, imprisoned by Blackbeard right now, since she went to look for Moria. But yeah, Perona, I think that the only, like, true counter for it is actually just depression. But another thing I think is interesting that I've thought about is that the effects of a smile fruit could be a counter, since those people are permanently happy. That, or if it turns out she could secretly, like, cure them with that devil fruit. Just the two completely opposite emotions, and it ends up curing the negative effects of a smile fruit, which I would love that, and that would make me like Perona as a character even more. Which is more or less just me making excuses to keep liking Perona, because she's fucking adorable. I'm gonna put random pictures of her up for some reason, but yeah, there were only like 10 comments, or I guess 9, since I technically replied. I gave all of them the thumbs up and the heart. That's a terrible heart. That looked like a circle when I did it. It's an angle. Wait. Yeah. Sorry, I'm really immature. But yes, so the list itself, not satire. The video itself was completely satire, and I'm really sorry I made it, and I'm still mildly upset that it's my most popular thing. But thank you all for watching anyways. I'm really glad that I got an obscene amount of views on that. Thank you. I hope you stick around for my other content that has more effort into it and is better. Bye-bye, I've been Cutthroat. I love you, viewers. You're my favorite viewers. Bye-bye. I don't know why I'm dragging out a bye so long. Bye-bye.